Lots of low-lying clouds today, and I've got these itch spots all over my skin. This is disgusting, man. Let's go back for my walk. Lots of low-lying clouds. Seems like the more I expose them, the more brazen they get. Look at all those low-lying clouds, boy, all over the place. Right there, too. Loree McBride and Melania Trump, they're going, this is what I call an insane blitzkrieg. Right here, look at that. See how low-lying those clouds are? They must be exploding bombs underneath my shield. That too, look at that. I think this is Melania Trump. I've noticed Melania is really brazen. She's really vulgar. She's just as evil as Loree McBride. In fact, I think they're both working together. This gives you an idea how low those clouds are. They're really low. It's like I could reach out and touch them. Yep, really low. Low-lying clouds. They're making me sneeze, and I have red, itchy spots on my skin. Look how low those clouds are. It's like she's done a blitzkrieg, man. I'm wondering if she's sending suicide bombers underneath my shield, because I hear the Loree McBride Jesuits can't live underneath my shield. So they just get underneath the shield just to release the bomb, and then they die. I think it's like suicide bombers. I think that's what Loree's doing. That sure is weird looking. Right there. Take a look at that. Isn't that strange? Strange looking right there. Look at that pink horizon. This is the day that YouTube took down Jesus Christ Forbidden Abyss playlist that I made for children's audio videos. This is look at that right there. Doesn't that look strange? Notice how pink that sky is? There is a tropical storm Dorian out there that's about to hit Puerto Rico, but it's having trouble getting to hurricane strength. I think my Gail shield is beating it up. I've got a really strong Gail shield right now. And Loree McBride and Melania Trump are trying to knock it out. Look how pink that is. Very suspicious looking clouds there. That pink hue is a sign of Loree McBride Jesuit handiwork there. And Melania Trump appears to be siding with Loree McBride. Look how pink that sky is. Wow, really pink. This is like over the Orlando area. Just look at that. Look how pink that is. Very pink. It's probably got a lot of Candida auris germs in it. It was raining earlier today, and I wasn't able to buy my usual water because they were out of it, and I just had to buy what was available, the more expensive water. Look at that. Very pink. Suspicious looking. This Dorian is headed right towards where I live, too. But I predict my Gail shield's going to knock it out. What an interesting looking sky. This is the western sky. And then here we're going to the northwest. That's like Orlando there. And then here is the north. Interesting looking sky. Look at that. Doesn't that look like a bomb explosion? Hurricane Dorian is headed our way, but I know my Gail shield's going to beat it up. That looks probably Loree McBride Jesuit. Look at that. Yep. Doesn't that look like an explosion? Huh. Boy, that sure looks like an explosion. Well, I wanted to give a little update. As a lot of you know, there is a Hurricane Dorian headed straight towards me. And it'll be interesting to see what my Gale shield, which is very powerful right now, does to Dorian. I've noticed the forecasters are all over the map in deciding what this hurricane will do. It's like they know about my Gale shield. I think Loree and perhaps Melania Trump worked together on this Dorian and hoped a small, powerful hurricane could break through my shield and hit me. They haven't had much luck with larger hurricanes. My shield usually deflects them. I predict my shield will cause this hurricane to weaken considerably before it hits. Of course, don't expect the news to tell you the truth. I remember Category 4 Matthew. I was expecting it to hit me, and what I saw outside when it was supposed to hit was nothing more than your typical thunderstorm. My Gale shield deflected it and destroyed it. And then, people, if you do the Gale commandments, you will strengthen my Gale shield. And the Gale shield is good for more than just hurricane protection for me. It also shields the earth from Loree's bombs. And by the way, see this red spot here? You see that red spot there? Can you see it? Right there. Let's see if we can get it good here. Right there. See that? That's dried. It's not very focused. This camera's not very good. Let's see if I can get it. That is yeast. That's caused by the yeast in the bomb she's dropping over my head. It was really itchy a couple days ago, and it's formed a crusty red spot right there on my neck. Yeah, and some Loree McBride Jesuit was gaslighting me about, I've been showing you the bombs in the sky. She's saying, those aren't bombs. It's your mental illness that makes you think they're bombs. You're full of, you're gaslighting me, man. Yeah, that's what's this from? You say, oh, it's egg. No, these spots, they're really itchy. They're yeast spots. From Candida auris and the bombs. I get them all over my body, like little spots. I'll get them on my legs. Sometimes I get them on my neck, wherever the yeast. See, the Seroquel's inside my body, taking the toxins out of my body because the yeast feeds off of its own toxins. And so the Seroquel works by removing the toxins from my body, which was one of the reasons why my skin looks so good. I'm almost 62. Seroquel is partly the reason for that. It's a detoxifier. And that's how it works on keeping the yeast infection. This particular yeast eats its own poop. It eats its own toxins. So Seroquel works by taking the toxins out of the body so the yeast doesn't have any food and it starves itself. That gunk in my throat, that's also yeast. Anyways, back onto they're just full of baloney. These bombs over my head sometimes almost give me a migraine headache. Some days I will get a block in my sinuses that is so bad from the germs and the bombs that it feels like almost like asthma. It causes constriction because I'm allergic to the yeast toxin, and Loree knows that. Anyways, she must think we're all a bunch of codependents, that we would believe her lies. That I can't believe the nerve of this woman. She's so brazen, and she thinks we're all dodo birds, that we can't see what she's doing. Anyways, back to the Gale shield. So why did Jesus give me a Gale shield? It's the way the Lord made me. He knew he could trust me to obey him enough that he could use me significantly to help out his plan for this time. The Gale shield protects me primarily, but in so doing, it also protects those underneath it. Why does Jesus protect me? I'm kind of like Noah. I'm one of the few that Jesus trusts to honor him with my life, so he gave me a Gale shield. My heart is pretty pure in its devotion to Jesus and his foreknowledge. Knew he could trust me to be like my ancestor King David before David sinned. That's why Jesus says I'm like little David. So I'm a very important person in his plan for this time. And my Gale shield has literally saved the earth many times. If not for me and my shield, we'd probably already be in the 7-year tribulation. Satan's tried to speed up the timetable so that less will come to Jesus. And I'm literally a woman after God's own heart, like my ancestor David. Jesus calls me his favorite, and he knows it won't get to my head because I'm too persecuted for being his favorite. I'm in the Bible in Zechariah 9:15, and I think I'm in Isaiah 57:9 too, and I think that verse is about clones. I'm kind of like a female John the Baptist. I'm telling the world to follow Jesus and repent of their sin of worshiping the Antichrist, who's right now Loree McBride, I think, already on the scene. Jesus knew he had to give me a shield to keep me alive, so that's why I have one. Also, Jesus knew he could trust me to honor him with my life because I don't serve Jesus for the honor. He already told me that I'm going to be laying all 5 crowns at his feet. This doesn't get to my head because I don't serve Jesus for these crowns. I serve him because I love him and I love what he stands for, and I'm just going to throw those crowns at his feet. The whole world could go against Jesus, but I'll stand by him and by my men, even if the whole world tells me I'm crazy, because that's where truth, love, and honor lie. I remain diligent because Satan's obsessed with me. I care about winning for Jesus' honor, not for the crowns, but to honor the vast love he gave me in my life, which is Brent Spiner. If you're motivated by greed, you'll end up betraying Jesus like Judas Iscariot and Viggo Mortensen and the Brent Spiner clone. If you're motivated by acclaim, which was the Apostle Peter before he sinned and he denied the Lord 3 times, you'll end up betraying Jesus. But Peter learned his lesson, but not until after he'd betrayed Jesus. Until Peter realized that without Christ you can do nothing, he failed. If you know that you're unworthy of any honor, and that only Jesus is worthy of honor, and Jesus is all that is vast, great, and nothing else compares to him, then you'll stay true to Jesus. Very few are this pure in their hearts. So Jesus can't trust most people with a shield. Can you imagine what it would be like if Jesus gave Viggo Mortensen my Gail shield? Viggo betrayed me and ended up making love to the Antichrist. Jesus knew he could trust me with a Gail shield because I'd honor him by obedience and with my life, and so that's why he's given me one. But he's chewed me out many times when I've sinned, but does it wisely. Most people, Jesus won't even waste his time chewing them out because they wouldn't listen to him no matter what. So Jesus chews out his favorite. Can you imagine how he feels about the majority of the human race in terms of how we can trust them to honor him and do his will? Very few have the courage to stand alone for Jesus and have everybody call you crazy. They actually prefer the world's respect, the world's money, and things like lust, financial security, and other things they prefer over Jesus. Jesus knew I'd sacrificed my reputation and everything for him, and so he gave me this shield. He knew he could trust me with it. Others are married to their churches and maybe love their church over Jesus, perhaps because they rely on the church for financial security. Nothing wrong with the church, but if you have to choose between your church and Jesus, choose Jesus. In fact, in the tribulation, most believers are going to be underground, the true believers. And those churches, quote unquote, that are above ground are going to be run by Satan. In other words, the ones that are respectable in the world. Satan's in rehearsals faking as Jesus, and he actually quotes Bible to deceive. And lately, Satan's gotten really self-righteous. While he and his followers parade around nude and rape and plunder and steal and impersonate, he actually takes nude videos of me and puts them out there to try to humiliate me and make it look like I'm some sort of a nudist freak, and that's why I made my last video. But he's such a hypocrite. So is Loree McBride. So she's being so self-righteous, like, oh, that crazy woman thinks she's a Playboy centerfold. Well, Loree knows I was a Playboy centerfold. She's just jealous. But I actually could care less about that stuff. I just do it to encourage my men. So, it's important to know who the true Jesus is right now. You need to read the entire Bible from Genesis to Revelation and make sure you interpret verses in context. Also, it's important to read my Bible for Tribulation Saints.